Okay, Carlos.
Done.
What's your deal?
I grew
How
up
did you come into this whole
I grew up in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I had a lot of Mormon friends growing up. One of which was the girl that I sort of like dated, and her family. I was really close with her family, and her best friend, and we had a mutual best friend. I'll try to keep all the stories straight. This girl Kim, she took the missionary lessons, and she joined the church when she was about 16 or so, and she wrote me this long letter, and she said, I had something really important to tell you. And that was the first baptism I ever went to. She wrote me this long letter, and she said, I need you to come over, I have something really important for you. And she's like, I need you to go somewhere. And she also gave me a little tape, which I came to know.
An audio tape?
An audio tape. A little audio tape, which I put in my little Volkswagen Scirocco. And it had it was a mixtape, if you will.
Of Mormon music?
Of Mormon music. Mainly Michael McLean, which we love. Little Hold On, the Light Will Come. A whole array. Anyway, so I came over and I thought something like was wrong.
Like she was dying?
Yeah, like she was dying. And, she said, I want you to go somewhere really quiet. And I want you to take this, and I want you to read it. So of course I drove to the end of her street under this street lamp, and I read the letter, and
so dramatic.
yes, so dramatic, and of course I made it dramatic.
Wait, how old were you?
I was 17. It was like the summer before my senior year of high school.
Yeah.
So anyway, moving on. So I read the letter, and it was a really beautiful letter, and I definitely felt something different. It was all about this. It was all the Alma 32 stuff that talks about, if you have a seed and you plant the seed and it grows and it bears fruit, and I was like, I like this Alma chick. Of course, I thought Alma was a woman. Anyway, at the end of it, she basically was like, I want you to take these missionary lessons. I want you to just look into it, just do that much. And and I definitely at that point, being gay was becoming a little bit more of an issue, because I was getting a little older, and I was not wanting to have any relationships with the women's relations. And I was very safe because I had a Mormon girlfriend, so all you had to do was make out, and maybe you'd press into her a little, and that was it. Hopefully she wouldn't feel that there was an absence of something. But I remember really feeling like, wow, I felt like close to God and very close to, the Spirit or whatever through reading this letter. And so took the missionary lessons, and 3 days before I was about to turn 18, I decided I would be baptized, and I did. It was definitely a great day. I felt really happy, and I felt really welcomed by the ward that I was going to. And I had sung in the ward, like, for all through high school. Like, I would go and sing Michael McLean song or whatever, and so they all liked me. I was sort of like the little rock star there. But I remember sort of hoping that, I was like, you grew up Catholic, and nothing against the Catholics, but it's a very sort of like mystical sort of like over there kind of religion, like God is sort of over there, and you kind of don't really know too much about him, and you see the Jesus on the cross every day or every Sunday at church, and it doesn't really kind of make sense. But the Mormons are so like, well, this is what this means, and this is why Jesus was this, and Heavenly Father, and I definitely liked that everything was explained, and that everything had a reason. Anyway, so I kind of had thought, one of the things that really motivated me to join the church was, I bet that when I get baptized, I will come out straight. That's literally one of the things that I thought would happen. I was like, I think I found it. I found like the cure-all. And I remember driving with the girl who had written me the letter, and then my girlfriend at the time, And you know, I was sort of like, I just started like bawling because I was like, I was really happy, but I was also like, I don't feel straight. I don't feel straight, and I don't feel like, I don't know, it was a weird mix of emotions. My parents were there too, and they were like in tears. They were devastated. And, you know, later on they told me that they kept hearing everybody say, you know, welcome to your new family, and you're leaving your whole life behind, and you're starting this new life. And they were like, they were thinking I was gonna like disown them and like go off to this cult, and nobody knew anything. Anyway, moving along with our story, I definitely, that summer after I joined the church, you know, I had sort of had a sort of boyfriend. Not really, we just sort of would like, you know, get together and experiment, if you will. And I had stopped that for a while before joining the church, and then like that, you know, after that, I think I sort of fell into this depression of like, I'm still gay, and this did not cure me, and I was a little pissed. I was a little pissed at God. I was a little pissed at the church that, you know, I thought this was going to happen. And I also came out to my girlfriend, who I had been dating at the time. She was the first person I ever told. Where was I going with this story? Also, kind of as a side note, I had been working at an amusement park, Cliffs Amusement Park. Think instead of 6 Flags, think like 2 Flags. And one of my friends there was Mormon, Ryan Shepard, and he one day, like, this had to be like September or October, he's like, hey, where are you going to college? And I was like, I don't know, I might stay here in Albuquerque and audition for their opera department or whatever. He's like, well, there's this school called BYU. He's like, and they have this amazing group called the Young Ambassadors. They travel. They were like, he was like, they travel all over the world, and they have a music, dance, theater department program. And I was like, literally, Don, I was like, are you serious? Like, there's a place where you can study all of them at once. So he like, you know, gave me the information, and I sent in, and he said, okay, we have to prepare 2 monologues and 2 songs, and then you're going to learn to dance. So not even knowing where Utah was, because at this time I had not, you know, taken the plunge into the waters of Moroni. I was, you know, just didn't know anything about the church. So we took my car up, me and this other girl and Ryan, and we auditioned for the BYU MDT program scholarship. It was the scholarship audition, and we slept on the air mattress of his brother and his wife, like literally basement apartment on. You know, and I don't think to this day I have ever been more nervous for an audition. And granted, it was like one of my first audition experiences before I knew anything. And I sang like Close Every Door and Something's Coming from West Side Story. And I did like some old man monologue from some Artful Dodger or something like that. Anyway, Ryan and I both ended up getting full ride scholarships to go to school there. And subsequently then I joined the church, and so the summer comes and I'm like flaming gay, back with my experimentation partner, and like I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm going away to like Mormon land, and I'm still gay, but I kind of wanted to get out of, you know, Albuquerque, and so, you know, I went, and Ryan and I were roommates at Desert Towers. And I definitely say like my first year there was really rough, because I kind of took everything that the church said at face value, and if they said like people don't masturbate, like I believed I was the only one masturbating. I literally did. And if they were like, you know, there's no such thing as gay, which not exactly what they taught, but I kind of thought that everybody who was Mormon just wasn't gay, because I didn't see any gay people at BYU, and like, so I literally thought...
You were in musical theater.
Yes, I was in the musical theater program, and there was Sean Perry, but anyway, and Steven Fales, who did the Rum Tum Tugger number for the MDT showcase. I should have left them in.
Looking back now, you can see everyone was gay.
Yeah, but I literally
There's one or two that
I literally thought that I was the only person masturbating and the only homosexual at BYU. So